aspect of me, quote unquote, being labeled and being told that I am actually refusing to let the father of my children to have access. I have papers, I have evidence, I have screenshots of everything I have tried to do to actually bring him to become a better father. I have protected him. I have never gone online to say anything ill about him, whatever way you want to think. I've never sat down, but today I'm not going to protect him anymore. That's what's going to happen. Let's start. By the time he left home, I begged him to buy Lexi a little phone or just find a way to be calling him, to call home. And since I'm the bad person and he doesn't want to contact me, I gave him a leeway to actually contact our nanny, however often he wanted to, and check up on his children. I can tell you this for a fact. He's never called home. He's never checked up on his kids other than the day he's decided like he's gonna show up. And this is what happened. From the minute we broke up, I knew things have to change. We have to get structure so that we're not in any other person's ways. And trust me, I have all the records to do that. I mean, having me try to do that. I told him, can you give me a structure in a way that we can take care of these kids? He kept telling me, I will bring. A year, 4 months later, I've never seen any structure. Never. We had back and forth. At some point, he wasn't seeing those kids, especially between January and April. It asked her. Let me go to the point here. This is what we said. You will appreciate that the welfare and upbringing of the minors is of paramount importance, and our client is apprehensive that failure to have a healthy discussion in this regard shall be detrimental to their welfare and upbringing, contrary to the provisions of Children's Act number 8 of 2000, Laws of Kenya. And this is what we said. In view of foregoing and the need for structure and consistency with regards to the minors going forward, kindly do agree an informal, without prejudice, meeting with our client and the undersigned at X location by the poolside on 29th of July 2020 at 2:30 p.m. or any other date and time that is convenient to you, to be communicated to us in writing prior to our proposed date. The purpose of the meeting is to discuss the way forward with general welfare and upbringing of the minors. Listen, we do not intend to play the role of a lawyer in the meeting, but that of a facilitator stroke mediator. You may wish to be accompanied by your lawyer. Listen, this letter was hand-delivered to him on the 27th of July, proposing for a meeting on 29th. He never responded. If anything, the communication I got from my lawyer, whichever lawyer he actually procured, called my lawyer and said they don't owe me any obligation or anything because they are providing everything, which is a lie. Moving forward, I did not push him. I was waiting to find out if he's actually going to come up with a date or at least reach out to my lawyer. We have a constructive meeting on how to bring up these children because I was aware he has moved on with another person. He has a new family. I do not want to interfere. I don't want to be called a homebreaker. I do not want those insults people have been calling me that I've not moved on and that I want him back. What makes me mad is that days to come, he made my life miserable. He made it very difficult by not cooperating, by not actually giving me a leeway. This is around the same time he went to expose about this deadbeat dad story, and I got attacked. And I remember picking up the phone and telling him, Frankie, how can you let the mother of your children get attacked like that? Are you actually saying I said something, or who are you trying to address? And he said I was addressing the bloggers. Then I told him, why are you letting people insult me? Why don't you just put a disclaimer and say, hey, this is meant for the bloggers? Because you know very well, Frankie, I have done everything possible to make peace and to be respectful to you. I'm not perfect. We've had our ups and downs, but I have done nothing for someone to disrespect me. But respect me as the mother of your children, respect your children as well. And he stood at the door and I told him, hey, I'm trying to get him talk, like, why you disrespect me like this? When is this gonna end? Are we gonna just be sitting waiting for you to show up? And in fact, you have a letter pending. This is a whole month later. You have a letter pending that you need to respond to. And I never rushed him. So he said, am I not gonna take my kid? I was like, no, today. Even before I explained that Kaika Isik, he had stormed off. And true enough, I followed him. I tried to even block him. I'm like, hey, we need to talk. He sat in He didn't even do anything. He was just on phone calls, and he told me, you're gonna hear from my lawyers. And I said, it's okay. It's okay. In fact, that's what I've been saying. Let's have lawyers to sit down and we discuss. Since we can't be cordial and have a conversation how to bring up these kids. He stormed off. And that's when the narrative began. That I'm stopping from seeing his kids. I'm blocking from seeing his kids. That's when the narrative began. And may he try to actually come and say otherwise, because that's my truth. The narrative began. Fast forward. That was on Sunday. On Tuesday, he picks up his phone call. This is, he called me on 26th of August. This was on a Tuesday. And he specifically told me, I'm no longer going to be sending this money because I can see my kids as often as I want to. And I walked him through the conversation, which I recorded by the result, and I said, it's okay. And I asked him, so I asked you for structure, and I didn't let you just walk all over me and these kids' lives. And now, your solution is to not send up gifts for them. And I asked him a question and asked him, so you, when you don't do your duties, I stop taking care of the kids. Is that the solution? And he said nothing actually. I have it on record. And sure enough, he never sent any money till now. Never sent any money. I was silent. I said, if that's the solution, I'm not going to force you. I'm not going to keep following you. It's okay. If that's what you've decided, fine. I stayed the first week. It's okay. In fact, it was with salaries. My nanny's salary was due. There was still food. There was still all the bills I paid. I paid without any complaint. Until 7th of September 2020. I'll never forget that phone call. He picked up his phone with the same narrative and told me, since I'm providing shelter and I can see my kids as often as I want to, and I'm like, wow, you need to move out. And I said, okay, so let me walk you through this again. I write to you asking you to come and sit down with me to have structure for my kids. I don't allow you to walk all over me when I've been so gracious, and I never even stopped you from seeing the kids even after I did the letter and you didn't respond, because you saw them twice in the following weeks. And mind you, all this time he's never called home, he's never called anyone. Till now, he's never called anyone, even my nanny, to find out how the boys doing, what have they eaten, what has happened, what's new. He doesn't know. He doesn't know. He actually, I told him, okay, is that so? Again, this is on record. I have the recorded phone call. Yes, so you need to move out. So I asked him, okay, fine. So if that's the solution, then I'm not going to fight you. How long do I have to move? He said 1 month. I said, it's okay. And true enough, from September 7th, all I ever did, I knew I had a month. I had to put my money right. I had to look for an apartment. It was hectic. For a whole month, I was just running around, looking for an apartment. Thanks to God, we found a nice home, and my kids are settling down well, and I'm grateful for even him and his mom letting me and my kids stay there. But he kicked his kids out. He kicked me and the kids out in the name of he can't see them as often as possible. Where's the logic there? I didn't fight him. I've never said anything to him until on 24th of September. Mind you, he called me on, actually the phone call came on 7th of September. I hope that is clear. On 24th of September, my son got really sick. You guys know this because, I put it on, I think, my IG. He got sick. It was in the middle of the night. In fact, we got admitted at 3:11 a.m. 3:11 a.m. And in the hecticness of taking care of him, he had like the worst food poisoning. He was diarrheaing. We had not slept. He had not slept. So the whole day I spent it taking care of him and everything. I need you to note this. My kids don't have medical insurance. His responsibility. These are the things we were supposed to teach, sit down and discuss. Meet me halfway. Let's have insurance. Kids get sick all the time. I still don't have medical insurance. My kids don't have medical insurance. But I was at the hospital, and that's 3 a.m. Again, this is something I'm going to attach. I put a deposit of 102,150. 150 for my son to be admitted. I was not going to call him at 3. I don't want to be told, today I'm calling and I'm trying to break families and I want him back. No, I did not. In fact, I was like, do I even tell him? Because I thought it was going to be a short process the same day we come back home. And I told him, because I said, you know what, It's not what you say, it's what you do for your children. And I told him, September 24th, just letting you know that guys at Gertrude since last night, he had severe stomach bug, but everything is under control. We get released today, tomorrow, hopefully. Have a good evening. Well, true enough, Frankie showed up at the hospital at around 9. And I told him, I think we had a phone call, messaging, and I told him the ward we were at and all that. He showed up, empty-handed. Millie and Terence can bear you witness. They were there, they had come to see me. He came, sat there, said hi to Kai, sat there in, for anyone who's been ever admitted Gertrude, you know how, like the bed, mommy's bed, the other bed, and a seat. And I'm the one who was even asking, are you going to ask me what the doctor says, what's wrong with the kid? And I could feel the aggression, and I was like, I'm not going to force this conversation. He sat there, did not even ask me anything. I'm the one who was forcing the conversation. And I'm like, okay, why did I even have to do this? And true enough, I even told him, I actually put in some money. I put a deposit of 100,000. And I think for now, we should not worry about anything. But let me tell you, till now, he's never asked me, was the bill enough? Did you clear the hospital bill? Till now. The next thing he asked me was, who did the doctor say? And I told him, we've been discharged, but we're still at the hospital. He did not bother to find out if we needed anything, if they can come see my child. Zero. Nothing. Till now, he doesn't know whether Kai got well. He doesn't know if nothing. But what did he do? He ran on social media to start saying, oh, everything is going to be okay, son. I want you guys to mark a pattern because I'm done. And enough is enough. He's never bothered to find out exactly what went wrong. I paid for the entire bill. I have the receipt. In as much as it was, I put the deposit of 102, it came to 78,880, I think. I forgot my receipt because I'm not in town right now. But I will have to attach whatever I need to attach. Moving forward. At this point, mind you, we've been kicked out. He's not been supporting his kids. This is going to almost 6-7 weeks. And I'm not bothering him. I've never bothered Frankie. I've never told him anything. True, I found an apartment, and as of 5th, remember that guy, guys, when I went to this hotel called the Cave, that was us transitioning. I had to take the boys to the Cave so that I can have the, you know how hectic moving is. Moved, and we moved out on 7th of, actually 6th of October. This was exactly a month from what I was told. Because I had to obey, because I did not know what someone is holding on my head. I feel scared. I felt scared. I used to live with my door closed because I don't know exactly what's going to happen. But can you imagine living in a place whereby you don't know what security is there? I've been insulted because of living in that home with my. Imagine living in a place whereby you don't know what security is there. I've been like, you know what, my truth will come out. But I'm like, how about those women who are out there suffering like me because of something they've not done? I've been working and breaking my back day and night, taking care of my children. Till now, he's very aware we are no longer in that house through this letter because he signed it. And the keys had to be taken, I don't know, on Mombasa Road so that he can sign. He didn't want to come to the house to check. I hope he doesn't claim that he signed for something he didn't know about. But thankfully, I took record of everything. The next video going up, it's about me moving houses, and you see how I left that house. Because I don't want to ever be associated with Ikome. Let it stop. Do the right thing. Provide for your children. Let's have a meeting. You don't even have to meet me. Have a meeting with my lawyer. Sit down as a family. You have 2 children out here. Social media is not, putting them on social media doesn't mean feeding them. And we all know how many dads do that. You can write a long, beautiful message to manipulate people to think ABCD. But you don't know what your children are eating at home. You don't know where they are. You don't know their welfare. You've missed every milestone. You don't know what diapers they wear. You don't know the struggles we have at night. You don't have a relationship with them. Hell, won't even call home. You won't even call my nanny. Because I'm like, I have